Well, hello there, Minecrafters. Thanks for coming by. And today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about banners and shields. I've got all the different patterns laid out here, and there are quite a number. I haven't actually counted how many there are. And you can see there is quite a bit of difference between the banner pattern and the shield pattern. These are the same design here. I believe this is intentional. I think because of the size difference, it comes out differently. So transferring them from one to the other isn't exactly always what you want. But I wanted to show you guys how to create these with command. So that's Setblock. We're gonna talk about how to create the banners and the standing banners, the wall banners, and then I'm gonna show you how to transfer any design over to a shield. So you'll be able to take some cool banner from Planet Minecraft and make it into your own shield using command blocks. Also, I'm going to show you how to summon mobs or armor stands using the custom shields. And we're going to talk about how to give the player a shield or even replace the offhand item with a shield. But first we have to talk about how to create the banner itself using command blocks. So let's get into that. Alright, and here we are with our friend, the old trusty command block, and I've prepared this set block command ready to go here. Now we are talking about the set block command because banners are actually blocks. Even though they kind of move around, they may seem like entities, but they use the same commands that blocks do, like stone or lapis or anything like that. So we can use set block, we can also use fill, or we could use clone if you want, but in this case we're using set block. We're going to use relative coordinates, one block above that command block. We're going to set a standing banner block with a damage value of 0, which means it's going to face me. I'm using replace, which means I'm just going to change whatever block's above there. In this case, it's air. And then this is our MBT structure. This is the important thing right here. So we've got a curly bracket, we've got patterns, colon, square bracket, curly bracket, pattern, colon, and then this is the part that we want to pay attention to. So this is the first pattern that's going to be over top of the background. So we've got a center stripe or CS and a color of 0, which is actually black in this case. It's different than wool colors. It's more like dye colors. It's kind of reversed. I'm not sure why they did that, but anyway, 0 is black. 15 is actually white. So base is the background. We've got a center stripe over top of a white background. You'll see when I hit this, one center stripe over top of a white background. Now if you look closely, we've got these little gray outlines, I guess they are. What we can do is we can also double up this layer. Now depending on where we put this layer, it will change where that gets placed in the actual banner. But I'm just going to Control C, copy it. I'm going to put a comma right after here. On the second layer, the second pattern, I'm going to Control V and paste it. And I'm going to have two of the same layer. And you'll see it'll be even darker here. You can see, you just barely see the edges. And if I add a third layer, it will be fully black. I did that quite a bit with my flag designs. Now the other thing we can do is we can change that layer. If we change the first layer to something else, so let's change it to a middle stripe. And we'll change the color to, I think one is red. And we're going to keep the center stripe, we're going to keep it as black, and we'll keep the background as white. That middle stripe, because it's the first layer, it's going to be underneath of this center stripe. So you see here, there we go. We've got the middle stripe here, or the horizontal stripe underneath of that. And then we can also add more things. So if I just copy and paste this is how I recommend just doing your commands. Just copy and paste. I'm going to copy this comma as well. Control C, and I'm going to paste it right here. Another one, Control V, and I'm going to change this to, let's go with I don't know, straight cross, I believe it's called. And we'll change it to a weird color like 10, and that cross is going to be over top of everything. You'll see right here. There we go. We've got a lime cross over top of the black and then over top of the red. So it all depends on the order that you place those patterns. And so that is essentially how you design these banners. You just mix and match these patterns, and you should be good to go. So now that you know how to make your own custom banner designs using commands, let's talk about what else we can do with that. First of all, I've got this very basic set block command here. It's using the standing banner block with a damage value of 0. And this part that I'm highlighting right now is the consistency that we're going to be using throughout all our commands. So I've got the DLS pattern, that is the downward left stripe or diagonal left stripe, whatever it is, with the color of 14, which is orange. So that's an orange stripe over top of a base of 4 or a background of blue. So when I hit the button here, we've got a nice, beautiful, simple single stripe design banner that we're going to use. And I can also create a wall banner, or that is the banner that hangs off of the wall. And all we have to do is do the same layout here. We've got that same consistency I just talked about here from pattern to base 4. The only difference is we have a wall banner block. with a damage value of 3 because for some reason I have to have a different damage value so the wall banner faces the same way as the standing banner. Maybe you can explain that to me. I'm not sure why. But I'm also set blocking a block higher because the hitbox is a little bit different. So when I hit this button here, you can see the hitbox is up there for the wall banner and down here for the standing banner. You can actually set block that to air for some reason. I'm not sure if that's intentional or not, but it's kind of cool. And again, I had to change the damage value. I'm not sure why, but this is so they both face me. But that is how you do the set block for the banners. Now, if you want to transfer those banner designs over to shields, it is a little more complicated just because we're no longer talking about blocks and we're now talking about entities and items, entities, hands. So I've got a couple summon commands here. For the first one, we're going to be summoning an ArmorStand here. So I'm summoning this ArmorStand at these coordinates. I'm going to show the arms. I'm going to set the rotation at a certain amount. I'm going to put the left arm up so that the shield is straight up. I'm just skimming through this stuff. But here's the important thing here, starting at the hand items. This is the new 1.9 tag that's required for a mob or ArmorStand to hold things. In the first slot here, we've got nothing. That's the dominant slot. But in the offhand slot, we've got the shield. So we've got ID colon, and then you need to have Minecraft colon shield. You can't just have shield. It won't work. And then you've got this next comma tag, and this is the new tag. I think it's new, but anyway, we've got the BlockEntityTag tag, and that's what's required to put the shield in there. We've got the banner here next. All this is in the description, guys, but here is our same consistency. So you can take whatever it is, whatever design you want, just copy and paste it right in here, and that's where you're going to display your custom shield. So when I hit the button here, we're going to hit this, and very good, we've got the banner on the shield carried by the ArmorStand. Exactly the same layout for a mob. Here we've got the skeleton. The only difference is different tags for the mob instead of the ArmorStand. But all the way over here. Oh, side note here, this ArmorItems, the last slot is the helmet. Somebody gave me this idea to put a stone button in the head of a skeleton so that it wouldn't burn in the sunlight. But you can't actually see that button. You'll see that in a minute. But anyway, over to the HandItems tag. Again, exactly the same thing. Exactly the same all the way over. Again, that consistent from here all the way over to patterns. That's where you put your copy and paste your banner design in. Hit that, and we've got our skeleton that's not burning in daylight because it has a button in the skull, and we've got a cool looking shield. Have not seen that yet. I'm sure a lot of people are going to start using that when 1.9 comes around. Now let's say you want to give the player a banner or a shield, and that follows the same structure as we did with the mob and the ArmorStand. So it uses that BlockEntityTag, but here we've got the command give at P nearest player banner 1. We're going to give them 1, and we're going to give them a undamaged banner, and we're going to use this BlockEntityTag, but here from pattern all the way over to base 4, it's that same consistent thing that I've already talked about. So now we can give the player a banner, and they can place that wherever they want, or they can place it on a wall. So we've got a wall banner just like that. If you want to give them the shield, it's the same structure, exactly the same structure. The only thing you got to change is the words to shield, and then that player can be given as many shields as you want, just like that. Very nice shield layout, just like that. The only other thing is replace item, which means we can now actually place it in a specific slot. So if you want to place it in the shield slot, the offhand, what we want to do is replace item, entity at P or whatever player it is, and slot weapon offhand. That's pretty easy to remember. Shield 1, so 1 shield and no undamaged, and the same tag at the end, the BlockEntityTag, and that consistent thing there. We're going to do that, and you'll see it'll go in my offhand, and then I'm ready to go. I can also equip too. Very cool. And finally, if you have a banner design that you really, really like that's already existent in your world, or maybe you've grabbed it from playing a Minecraft and you want the command somehow, it's actually really easy to get. All you have to do is go up to that banner, and then you hold Control, and you press the middle mouse button on the hitbox, and you will get it into your inventory. And then the next thing you need to do is just place it on top of a command block, and then in that command block, type this block data tilde tilde 1 tilde, and then the 2 curly brackets with nothing in between. and then you press done, you press the button, and what that'll do is it'll give you that same consistent pattern that I've been talking about for whatever you place on top there. It's going to show you what that is. In this case, we have a 0 colon, which isn't actually necessary, but you can put it in there. It's just the order of how Minecraft displays it. The rest of the stuff isn't necessarily important, but that stuff there you can copy and paste and put it into your shield, and you can transfer it into different shield designs or whatever you want to do with it. But that, in a nutshell, is basically how banners and shields work with command blocks. So hopefully that helps you guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And again, everything about this is all in the description. All the commands, everything that you need to know is all in that description. So check it out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys, and enjoy your Minecrafting.